So introduction to Cognos8. So in this introduction session, we'll basically look into various components of Cognos8 and what are the features that Cognos8 is having, and then we'll just small introduction to the Cognos8. Okay. So first of all, we'll see why we need Cognos8, why Cognos8 has come into picture. So basically, whenever we are running a business or anyone is running a business, there will be some decision makers in that business. So decision making basically involves three fundamental questions. Okay, so that is like how the business is doing currently. So what is the current profit or what is the total revenue that is generated and all. And then why it is done like that. So that means if there is a downfall in the profit. Okay, so why the downfall is there and what are the reasons that are there for the downfall of profit, and if the revenue is grown in some area and if the revenue is shortage in some area, so why the differences has come into the picture. So what are the third question that comes into any decision making idea is like what are the measures that should be taken to get more profits into the business, or what should be done next in the business. Okay, so something like if you are running smoothly, what should you run to, I mean what should you do to run the business aggressively and all. So these three basic type of questions, okay, these three fundamental questions will be answered by Cognos8. Okay, so that is the reason why Cognos8 has come into the picture, to solve and to help some of the problems, okay, to solve some of the problems and to help business analysts and decision makers of the business with the basic reports. So Cognos8, what is Cognos8? Cognos8 is a web-based enterprise business intelligence software. So in Cognos8 we develop reports, scorecards, we do analysis, and we do event management in Cognos8. Okay, so Cognos8 takes decision making process to the next level of efficiency, and it is very simple and cost effective. Okay, so this will make the job easier for most of the decision makers and knowledge workers. So Cognos8 can perform business intelligence across multiple data sources. So even though you have multiple data sources and multiple applications in your organization, Cognos8 will integrate all those data sources. And if you have multiple applications like SAP or Oracle or anything, okay, so Cognos8 will integrate everything, and then it will give you an enterprise-wide picture of reporting and scorecarding. Now let's see some of the advantages of Cognos8. So some of the advantages are like Cognos8 is scalable. So as we said, Cognos8 is a web-based user interface. So you can add more number of users to the Cognos8, as and when the user number grows in the business, you can add them directly to the Cognos8, and any number of users can use Cognos8 any single point of time. You can create reports in multiple languages. So Cognos8 supports basically 25 plus languages, and you can send the reports to multiple users online. So you can send the report outputs to the users directly to their email addresses, or you can create a central web portal where the users can log in and access their reports. Okay, so Cognos8 supports OLAP cubes, and then it can support dimensional data sources and can support relational databases, and you can see all of them in one single interface. Okay, you can show one single report where you can access cube and other dimensional sources and other relational sources. It can be integrated with any programming language like C++, C#, or .NET or anything. So these are some of the advantages of Cognos8, and these are the features which makes Cognos8 superior to other business intelligence tools. So these are some of the products Cognos which has already delivered. Initially, Cognos has started with Impromptu. Impromptu comes in two different things like Impromptu and Impromptu Web Reports. So Impromptu is basically a Windows-based tool, and Impromptu Web Reports is like adding Impromptu to a website, and users can access their reports through website. So PowerPlay is a dimensional modeling tool, and you have Decision Stream and Data Manager. These two are ETL tools from Cognos. And then after PowerPlay, Cognos has released ReportNet 1.1, which is purely a web-based business intelligence tool, and 1.1 is purely a relational model-based reporting tool. So after ReportNet 1.1, they have come up with Cognos8 BI suite, so which is basically ReportNet 1.1 plus PowerPlay plus some other features. So whatever the features you have in PowerPlay and whatever the features you have in 1.1, altogether they have created a Cognos8 BI suite. And Cognos8 is a HL app where it can support multi-dimensional cubes as well as relational databases. And there is another product from Cognos8, which is Cognos Enterprise Planning, which is used for budgeting and forecasting. So let's see the basic components of Cognos8. So all the components of Cognos8 can be broadly classified into two things. Some of them are web-based and some of them are Windows-based. So when we say web-based, we can access these tools through an Internet Explorer, and when we say Windows-based, you have to access them through the desktop. Okay, so web-based is like something like a Gmail or Yahoo Mail, and when we say Windows-based, when we access like Yahoo Messenger or Gmail Messenger, you just log in into a Windows what you say exe file, and then you connect to the website, and then you access the contents on the website. Okay, so these are the two broadly classified components. So when we say web-based, there are 6 different components in web-based user interfaces like Query Studio, Report Studio, Event Studio, Metric Studio, Analysis Studio, and Cognos Connection. When we say Windows-based, we have Framework Manager, Cognos Power Play, Map Manager, and Metric Designer. So how do we access Cognos8? So we can just go to Internet Explorer, and then you can type server name /crn or server name /cognos8. So if the server is installed on the local machine, we can just use localhost /cognos8 or localhost /cognos crn. So this is how we access the web-based user interfaces. And if you want to access the Windows-based user interfaces, you can just go to Start button. There you'll find programs, and then you can go to Cognos8, and then Framework Manager or Cognos Configuration, etc. So let's access web-based user interfaces. Let's go to Internet Explorer. Just say local host /crn. Then it will open up Cognos connection. So this is the Cognos connection. Inside the Cognos connection, you can see different types of studios: Query Studio, Analysis Studio, Report Studio, and Event Studio. You can access different studios from the Cognos connection like Query Studio, Analysis Studio, Report Studio, and Event Studio. So if you want to see the Windows-based user interfaces, just go to the Start button and then go to Programs. There you will find Cognos8 and Cognos FM. You just go to the Cognos FM, and there you will find the Framework Manager. And if you want to see Power Play, just go to Cognos Series 7 version, and then you can go to the tools, and you can access the Cognos Power Play transformer from here. Now let's see the components. Just a brief introduction to all the components. So Query Studio is basically used to create simple queries and reports, and basic templates and formatting can be applied to the reports that are there in Query Studio. So for example, if any sales representatives or the low level management wants to see the reports from the Query Studio, these are basically an ad hoc reports. So sometimes like if the user sales representative goes to a customer, and the customer asks some questions like what is the revenue generated by the company in the current year, or these basic kind of questions will be answered by the Query Studio. Second one is Analysis Studio. So Analysis Studio is for data analysis. So something like dimensional data sources can only be seen in the Analysis Studio. So data analysis can be done through ranking, and if you want to apply the complex filters for the large volumes of data, we can use Analysis Studio. So the difference between Query Studio and Analysis Studio is like Analysis Studio, by using Analysis Studio, the top level management of the organization will do the data analysis, whereas in the Query Studio it will be purely for the report generating, which will stay only for shorter periods, probably 1 month or 1 week, etc. And the data analysis that is done in the Analysis Studio is done by the top level management. So the reports that are generated by Analysis Studio will probably stay longer than that of Query Studio. So third one is Metric Studio. So the Metric Studio is used to create scorecard reports and dashboard reports. And by using Metric Studio, you can assign tasks for poorly performing metrics. Metrics are basically like the revenue, which are key performance indicators of the business. The key performance indicators are like the revenue generated, or the profit that the company is making, or something like the number of employees, number of business units, etc. So these are the key performance indicators of the business. So when you are measuring the business, we will simply measure the business according to this. So when you say revenue of the company is 4 billion, so we'll probably think that company as a bigger company. And when we say the revenue is let's say 2 lakhs, then we'll say that is a smaller company. The strength of the business is measured by using key performance indicators. So if a key performance indicator is not performing that much uh, good, then we can identify that by using Metric Studio. So let's see some of the reports that Cognos can generate. So here we can see some charts. So some of them can be pie charts. Generally you can see these type of reports when you see, when you watch cricket, they'll give you the first inning score and second inning score. When you see the quantity, you can see here. So this is like, there is another report you can see there, a cross-tab report. Basically it is used to compare the values. So the camping equipment in the year 2004 as the inventory is somewhere under 1.5 15 lakhs. So you can compare the values for 2004 and 2005 by using these reports. And you can see a sample scorecard here. So we have listed some KPIs here like revenue, profit, number of branches, manufacturing units, number of customers, etc. And for any company, you'll have a planned value, and then when the value is actually realizing, you can have an actual value there. And the variance is calculated like planned minus actual divided by planned. So, and then you have some tolerance value. So if the tolerance, if the uh, variance lies in the tolerance, like minus tolerance to plus tolerance, then you'll probably put it in yellow color. And if the variance is less than the tolerance value, then probably you'll put it in red color. And if the variance is more than the tolerance value, then we'll probably put it in green color. This basically it's like a traffic lights. Okay, so when you see this type of scorecards, we can easily identify that whatever the profit we are expecting, it's not in our range. So in this scorecard, we can also see the tolerance. Here in this scorecard, the planned and the tolerance value are set by the business analysts and the business users. The actual values and the variance will be calculated according to the business. And then we can see that variance. So if the variance is according to the tolerance, we'll put it in yellow color. If it is less than tolerance value, we'll put it in red, and if it is more than tolerance, then we'll put it in green. So by using these scorecards, a business can see which areas you can improve and which areas you have to work hard.